Mangere Bridge Kindergarten have been working on a research project on transition to school for a long period of time. They lead the thinking around transition to school. They're known nationally and internationally.
It hadn't really been the norm to have any kind of transition artefact, tool, resource to move from an early childhood centre into a primary school.
We looked at quite a bit of research that existed. It was really definitions of transition that kind of anchored us to start with. The period of time that transition takes and the fact that it involves more than just the child moving from one setting to another. It's about the families and all the support people involved and how it affects all of them. So it was looking at those ideas and thinking those fit with what we believe and then working on our own projects. We had Sally Peters and Margaret Carr from Waikato University, were our research associates, and we used to meet with them about every 6 weeks and discuss anything that had come up for us, really, and then they would put the academic and the research side of it into it and say, well, we think you should read these particular articles or look up these authors, and then we would make it fit to what was happening for us here at kindergarten.
There's one story.
You know, when our children leave kindergarten to go to school, we know all the things that they can do, and their portfolios show that. Sometimes that is lost once they first get into a new entrant classroom because it is quite different.
We decided that we would make a real effort to get portfolios into the new entrant room.
We believe very strongly that this was a good thing that we were initiating here. And certainly, right from the very start, children were moving much more easily into school.
You can have a look as a teacher and think, wow, this child is an amazing problem solver or an amazing communicator, which you might not actually see in the classroom for a month or so. But as a teacher, if you know that they're coming in and that's their strength, you can build on that straight away.
Like with me, see, like...
Oh yeah, Aston is there with you. You want that one?
Yes, they talk about transition, they talk about portfolios, but they talk about how to build up the capability for students to have special interests, personalised learning, for them to be confident in terms of sharing that learning.
The buddies are such a delightful part of our program. They started in 2009 and they come once a week for an hour.
It's about making friends, and then when they go to school they have a friend.
Their buddy has talked to them about what Mangere Bridge School looks like, feels like, sounds like.
For me and for our school, it's really important. We don't implement things unless they're research-based, that they've been trialled, that they've got that rigorous sort of research behind them. They are really well networked. I have brought teachers to Mangere Bridge, they're really open.
They've been across the country and even across the world sharing their knowledge of transition to school. They have written a book. We gave all our kindergarten teams a copy of that book.
There's a point of difference to the work that they do here and people want to know about it.
They don't stop. They don't just say, this is transition to school, this is how you do it, go away and do it. They keep up to date.
When we've seen the outcome and the success of children at schools with this transition process and the portfolios, it's kind of indisputable that it's successful.